Does anybody else hate the fact that when they get a phone update and they just decide to update thinking that it's gonna fix all their problems, when in actuality it kind of makes them look worse, and now the phone's kind of looking like old to them? I can't be the only one who actually thinks like this, because this actually is kind of a more of a personal experience with my actual phone than anything else. Now, the biggest culprit for doing stuff like this, however, is, well, none other than Xiaomi. Now, don't get me wrong, I actually use a Xiaomi phone myself, and I've been quite happy with it for since I bought it in 2020, but 2020 was a long time ago. I mean, it's not too long in real life, but on the internet it's like a decade in comparison, but still. It's not a long time since I'm using this Redmi phone, which is the Redmi 9, and I kind of like it. It's a nice device, but however, after many software updates, Xiaomi decided to fuck over my phone and forced me into making this video in the first place. Now, credit is to credit's due. Xiaomi is a big company and they make a lot of smartphones. And most of them I can say they're greatly designed, have great form factor and great looks. I mean seriously, even though smartphones nowadays are bland in comparison to what we had in the 2000s and the 90s, but still these phones can look nice and can easily can stand on their own. And Xiaomi does a good job at making phones at an affordable price and many devices as well. But what they don't do a good job as in providing software for those phones. Now, all phones that Xiaomi made are actually Android phones, which is a good thing. But what's not good about it is the skin they use, which is MIUI. Now, don't get me wrong, MIUI used to be good. Used to, like in 2013, 14 when it came out, because it was more of a replacement for Samsung's crappy UI at the time, TouchWiz, or any other Android smartphone maker. Scrappy user interface, which was slow and sluggish, and MIUI was fast and sleek. So it made a lot of sense to use that on any kind of phones. And naturally, when Xiaomi decided to do their own phones, they actually use their own some UI software as well. But as over the years, like with every other software, MIUI has gotten bloated and slower as the time went on, to the point where it's kind of become a joke in the Android community. Not that it's an actual community. I mean, I don't know why they're calling these online groups communities. I mean, it's not like those same people of that community are going outside and communicating with each other. But yeah, I'm not the one to judge a community. So anyway, um, what's the bugs that appear? A lot of people complain to the point where most people outright refuse to buy Xiaomi phones because of MIUI, not because of the low specs or affordable or expensive prices. No, none of those, because Xiaomi does those two quite well. What they don't do quite well is MIUI, and I kind of got suckered into using MIUI's garbage interface on my phone because, well, I'll get into the details. Now, most people when they buy a phone, they just start using it like normal, and same happened with me. Like when I bought my Redmi 9 in 2020, it was on MIUI 11, Android 10, by the way, but nobody cares about Android 10. It's MIUI that's the problem here, not Android. So I used MIUI 11 on my phone like normal, and it worked pretty much like as I expected, which is coming from my old Lenovo, which sucked in comparison to my Redmi 9, but still, it was mm, quite a nice upgrade. It looked nice, but looks don't matter if the functionality is gimped. And MIUI didn't disappoint when it comes to usability. Sorry, MIUI 11. Then a couple of months later, I decided to like upgrade it to MIUI 12, and again it worked fine, no problems. Then another MIUI 12 update came, not 12.5, just normal 12.8, I believe, where the problem started. And the problem was after I updated, I had troubles booting into my phone because now Xiaomi's update kind of broke the bootloader, and now it's kind of going into this developer option to reset the phone or force wipe it, which I didn't want to do. It's the phone has nothing wrong, so but either way, after 2 restarts, it kind of worked normal. It was an annoying quirk that every time I had to like restart my phone because of a software glitch, and kind of now has to go into this bootloader menu, which I know don't remember enabling it. It was enabled after the update. But either way, that was my least of my problems. And another issue was the micro SD card that I had in my phone. I couldn't put anything onto it from the phone itself. I had to like use my phone cable to actually plug the phone into my computer and transfer whatever I had from the SD card or from my phone to it or onto something else. But that was again the least of my problems. I didn't have any problems with anything else before that. Then MIUI 12.5 came, and then I started to notice the worst thing Xiaomi has ever done into this update, and that is it said my SD card was actually corrupted where it actually wasn't, and so I had to like format it. Worst of all, I actually lost all my pictures because of that. Thankfully, some of those pictures were backed up, but I don't remember my SD card being corrupted. It works fine. I plugged it into another phone, which was my old Lenovo. I plugged it into a Sony phone, Sony Xperia phone, which was even older than my Lenovo. They worked fine. The SD card worked fine. However, the micro SD card on my Redmi phone was now damaged. All of nothing. Before the update, it worked fine. Why the fuck is it broken after this update? Worst of all, I did format it, and every image and song that I had at the time, I used MP3s. I didn't have oh wait a minute, I lied. I had Spotify. And everything was gone from it. All my holiday pictures gone. All my planned videos gone. Everything gone. How the fuck am I supposed to be happy with this shitty company pushing out software like this? Thankfully, as I said, I had everything backed up, but that was actually the most irritating thing I actually had to do on my phone. And after that, I started hating MIUI with a passion. But, however, the phone was actually responsive, and it kind of consisted of had a nice battery life. But, however, MIUI 13. Oh boy, MIUI 13. Now, that was the point where I actually upgraded my phone to Android 12 thanks to the MIUI 13 update, which was actually kind of nice. I mean, it looks nice for a user interface, and it's kind of, alright, a bit up to date. But, as I said prior to this, that looks are not relevant when it comes to usability. And this is where MIUI 13 kinda made me want to throw my phone out on the wall with a passion and smiling while I'm throwing at the phone, because thanks to the shitty update, the phone's now 5 times more slower than what it was previously. And it's not that I have any kind of application up and running. No, I even went ahead and kind of force close every background app, every process, everything I can do on the phone. The phone was still fucking slow. Alright, not only that, the phone drains a lot more battery right now. I know my phone's a bit like 2 or 3 years old at this point, and the battery had to be like needed to be replaced because the batteries don't last long and they actually deteriorate. But this time the battery was even draining a lot more quicker. Like I was able to get like 2 or 3 days with a full charge with MIUI 12.5, but with 13 I'm not able to actually do that. I had to like charge my phone every half a day or so, or a day if I get lucky enough. Like not only that, the phone actually sometimes when I use Instagram or watch YouTube videos on it, or scroll through Discord talking to my friends or stealing memes, the phone just overheats. Like, what the fuck is going on with this update? The phone was working fine before, now it just fucking drains battery, runs slower, and fucking overheats to a point that I can't even touch it without getting a second-degree burn for it. Like, what the fuck? Does anybody at Xiaomi actually have any proper quality control? Does anybody test this MIUI garbage that they put on their phones? I mean, I can't be the only one who actually does has these kind of issues with their phone. And so far I decided to like Google some solutions for this because I actually had the last straw. And so far what I saw on Reddit, many people actually had the same issues. Like the same issues that I had, they also had them. And the problem was MIUI 13. And this is a common thing with Xiaomi phones. After a couple of updates, the software bugs out so badly that they break their own phones. Like, what the fuck? Now, after googling some Reddit results, the phones that actually had MIUI 13 or any kind of bugged out MIUI version, because this is a common trend with Xiaomi, they actually bug their phones on purpose. It's $1 billion company. What do you expect? And not only that, a lot of people seem to say downgrade the MIUI version or switch to another RAM. Here's the problem with both of those options. One is changing the RAM or the operating system, not Android but still MIUI, a custom Android version. Is that you have to have a compatible processor on your phone with the RAM you're switching to, which my phone doesn't. It's a MediaTek processor instead of a Snapdragon. And you actually have to have proper knowledge of what you're installing. And not only that, you have to make sure that there's proper app support and proper hardware compatibility, because you're gonna run into a lot of issues with that. And because I wanted stock Android, I can't even install stock Android on my old phone, so I'm stuck with this MIUI garbage. Which led me to the next point, downgrading MIUI version, which I plan to do. I have to go back all the way down to MIUI 11, which is the MIUI my phone came with. That was out of the question because MIUI 11 is gone for a long time. The oldest I can do is MIUI 12, which I said, fuck it, I'll go back. And what you have to do is like you have to download MIUI 13 and MIUI 12 at the same time, install MIUI 13 like a normal update, and then actually delete the files, rename them to MIUI 13, sorry. And it's actually a lot more confusing that way. I'm not sure why I'm holding this cable, so fuck it. And after downgrading, you have to like enter some password, which I unlock password, which I don't have. I don't have a MIUI account, nor I want to have one. And not only that, I have to like also pray that my phone doesn't get bricked in the process. So downgrading is the only solution to this. And not only that, but I have to like pray that my phone doesn't break while downgrading. Like, what the fuck? I'm not sure what to do after this. The best option was wait for another software update. But good luck waiting for that, because MIUI updates are garbage. And I don't know what the fuck they're gonna break with the next Mi 13.5 or Mi 14 update. Like, I know the phones have lots of bloatware and they spend all their time like animating a weird circle on a Xiaomi cleaner app nobody wants to use because it's a placebo application. It doesn't even fucking work properly on a phone device that you can't uninstall it, on an application that you can't fucking uninstall without like modding, enabling developer options and removing stuff directly from your computer. But still, but now I have to like wait for a software update that's gonna break shit. Like, are you fucking kidding me? The phone's already broken at this point. What, this kind of stuff should be illegal, like, you know? I mean, think about it. I'm a tech savvy person. I know what to do with computers and phones, but there's a lot of people that aren't smart enough or tech savvy to begin with. They're just gonna buy a phone and use it like normal until it like does shit like this. And what's gonna do is like those same people are just gonna think their phone is old and it doesn't work anymore, and they're just gonna throw it away, creating more e-waste. And they're just gonna buy a new one. This is like bullshit. I mean, Apple tried to do this like 6 years ago. Damn, it's 2017. It was like 6 years. Fuck. Either way, they tried to do like slow down the older iPhone 6 and 5S phones because they wanted to save battery life. But after the phones got even slower than users expected, they actually got a lot of backlash for it. To the point they even got sued a couple of times for doing such things. Thankfully, they offered to fix the broken software with another update, and they actually made battery replacements cheaper at the time. Why can't Xiaomi do stuff like this, you know? I mean, Xiaomi should be like fined like millions at this point. No, billions for like damaging users' phones like this and expecting a lot of people to buy them like hotcakes. I mean, a lot of people still buy Xiaomi phones, which is kind of expected for them. But because of garbage like MIUI, as I mentioned, the bloatware, the buggy updates, I can't recommend Xiaomi phones for a lot of people. And after the MIUI 13 update, I stopped recommending Xiaomi phones to people altogether. Now, there are other manufacturers that do stuff like this, but in comparison to Xiaomi, I don't think anybody does shit like this. I know that Samsung and Realme are not or Honor are not actually sunshines and flowers either, but at least they provide better software than Xiaomi. Fuck it, I'll say it away. Samsung's One UI is like 10 times better and has 10 times more quality control than Xiaomi's MIUI. All Xiaomi kind of made me do is like hate them even more and force me to buy a new phone after this, which is pretty disappointing. I mean, Samsung is like better when it comes to software updates, at least. I know both Samsung and Xiaomi put like bloatware in their phones, but you know, at this point, why don't you just uninstall what you don't use? Oh, and I forgot to mention, after MIUI 12.5 update, Xiaomi put out the worst gallery app in existence. Why? Because, well, it can actually corrupt your images and your videos. If you have a micro SD card, good for you, because now your micro SD card can also be corrupted thanks to this gallery app. And it can put a lot of little corrupted data that you don't know or you can't see at all, and at the end of the day your phone is gonna be even more bloated and you don't know what's causing it. Oh, and they still haven't fixed the gallery app to this day, by the way. So enjoy having to download a separate gallery app from the Google Play Store if you really want to see your images or videos. I actually lost the video because I actually recorded that video on my SD card, and the camera and gallery app decided to like corrupt any video or image that goes into the micro SD card instead of the normal phone storage. Yep, just Xiaomi things, am I right? Well, I'm getting even more pissed off and pissed off at this company, so I'm just gonna stop recording and just end this video at this point. I already said what I had to say. So yeah, this was actually my personal experience with Xiaomi, and so far hasn't been good. Like, I understand we have to take one step forward with an update, but why do we have to take so many steps back? Why? A lot of people like to criticize Windows updates because they like break the computers and stuff. While computers and phones are different, at least Windows updates actually work pretty much good in comparison to Xiaomi's MIUI updates. But that's all I have to say.